So hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another Way of the Hunter video. Now this video was recorded during the early access for Matariki Park, so a huge thank you to Nine Rocks Games and the Way of the Hunter team for allowing me to take part in this early access. Now this video is going to be all about one thing: 5-star New Zealand red deer. And out here in front of us we have my very first 5-star mature New Zealand red stag. Now at this point I had seen over 10 4-star mature red stags actually end up dying, so seeing this guy make 5 stars was incredibly exciting. And this guy was extremely vocal as he was coming into the call, and that allowed me to get some really awesome screenshots of him. I mean, what a giant. When I had seen the 3 and 4 stars, I had to resist pulling the trigger because they just look incredible. Like, even the 3 and 4 star New Zealand red deer I thought looked huge, and every time I saw one I just had to not pull the trigger and hope that they would end up making 5-star eventually. And then this guy finally makes it, and I just could not believe how huge he is. Like, that is a monster stag. He looks absolutely incredible. The mass, the length of tines, he's got triple split brows, and then those crowns. He's just incredible. I mean, what a beast that is. And I had to call him in and see how close we could actually get him. You know, seeing this as my first 5-star red deer here on New Zealand, they are just absolutely incredible. This was the 5-star that I wanted to see the most out of all of the species on this map. Even though red deer technically aren't a new species, these are like their own type that are unique to the New Zealand map. So these are the only red deer in Way of the Hunter that are going to get to this extreme size. And this was the thing I wanted to see the most. I wanted to see one of these giants in game for myself. Ever since we saw that picture of what we now know was a 4-star, I needed to see what the 5 stars were going to look like. And I mean, just look at this guy. He's like a walking tree. That is insane. And he's calling again. That is just so cool. That is so cool. Having him come in and actually roaring. That is the coolest thing. I mean, wow. I don't know what else to say other than wow. Like, there's not a lot you can say about a beast like this. That is so majestic. And those antlers are just like such a nice dark colour as well. Everything about this stag is amazing. I mean, he is just the most incredible looking stag I have ever seen in any hunting game. That is amazing. Now, as he starts to get closer here, I was starting to think about taking a shot, but I had to just take a look at these antlers through this scope. I mean, he's just monstrous. Absolutely huge. And he roars again. Right out here in the actual scope, we get to see him roaring. But finally, it was time to drop him, and we get him in the heart, and he drops on the spot. That couldn't have gone any better if I had, like, written it, if that was scripted. That was perfect. Absolute perfection. For him to roar like that as he was coming in several times was amazing. But just look at these antlers. They are just amazing. And I know that's going to be the thing I say throughout this video, is amazing, incredible, wild. But it's just so cool. Seeing an animal like this in Way of the Hunter is truly, truly amazing. Now, of course, I had to try and get a trophy shot. Unfortunately, his one antler is clipping into the ground, but I had to try and get some kind of picture of my first 5-star mature New Zealand red stag. Absolutely amazing. He's just such a beast. Like I said, it's like a walking tree. It really, really is. Those crowns are just remarkable. I absolutely love those crowns, but those brows as well. I feel like so many games fail to give red deer, like the big red deer, good enough brow tines. This guy has triple split brows. How freaking cool does that look? I mean, just compare the size of him and his antlers compared to the player model. It's insane. This thing is just absolutely nuts, and you can see those triple splits on the brows, and there's so much mass. as it goes up through the antlers, like the mass stays, and that's something that's really cool to see, that these antlers do have a proper good amount of mass to them, as well as just a huge amount of tines. Now, like I said, it was a heart shot, which is what I was expecting considering he dropped on the spot like that. Nice, clean heart shot for my first ever 5-star New Zealand red deer, and he's a 97.13%. Wow. I mean, just look at the size of the antlers in this screen. Obviously, we can barely see them. I mean, there's just a lot of mass and tines going on, is all you can see from this screen. And that's just sums this guy up. Just mass and tines. Absolutely amazing. I absolutely love this. This is so, so cool. To see animals having unique variants from map to map is so cool, and this is something I hope Way of the Hunter continues to do, is to sort of base trophy sizes off of the actual area that we're looking at for the map, because this is so cool. This guy scores 488, so I reckon I could have probably left him alive for like another cycle, but I wasn't risking that. You know, my first 5-star mature New Zealand red, I was not risking this guy going off and dying. As soon as I saw one hit 5-star, he was getting taken out as quickly as possible. So I am just so, so pleased with this. What a trophy. I mean, look at these antlers. Now, a lot of the rest of this video is going to be a montage, because I have ended up shooting a lot of 5-star New Zealand reds during this early access period. They are the species that I have focused on the most, as I wanted to see if there were any different rack variations to this, and just find out as much as possible about these incredible giants. And ever since I found the high fitness area hotspots for these guys, I have just ended up finding so many, and I will put a map on the screen during the montage that shows you the area in which I've been finding all of these really high fitness red deer, so you can check it out on your own map. But my ultimate goal now for New Zealand is to get a 5-star albino New Zealand red, because they are going to have the albino variant the same as the Transylvania red deer, and to get an albino with this kind of set of antlers I think would be just insane. I just love the crowns on these guys. They look really, really cool, and the split tines are just amazing as well. He is just a beast of a stag. Really, really awesome looking creature. I couldn't be happier with how these guys look. They are seriously, seriously impressive. That is incredible. Now, taking a look in the lodge, and you're going to see there is a little bit of a difference between the biggest 5-star New Zealand red deer and sort of the smaller end New Zealand 5-star red deer. Unfortunately, there isn't, from what I have found, any different rack shapes. They are all the same rack shape, but the bigger 5-stars have slightly longer tines and I think a little bit more mass than the smaller ones. But unfortunately there isn't different rack styles, and I really wish there was, and I hope that that's something they add in the future, because I'd love to have more giants like this with different shaped antlers to actually go after, instead of just the bigger variant and the smaller variant of the same rack. So that's something I hope we'll see in the future, but hopefully you can see the difference between these red deer as we go through this list here, and you'll be able to see that the bigger ones have slightly longer tines and a bit more mass, whereas the smaller ones have a little bit less mass and just a little bit shorter tines. But either way, they all still look incredible. Now, like I said, the rest of this video is going to be a montage of just huge red stags that I have found during this early access period. So that's going to be it from me in this video, and I really, really hope you enjoy the montage. Thank you so, so much for watching and for all your support as always, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.